Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Louis Lee. Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin are still celebrating the first crewed suborbital flight for the company, but one of his fellow passengers gave a lukewarm review to the ride. Wally Funk, 82-year-old Mercury 13 finalist, made history as the oldest human to fly in space Tuesday. She was invited by Bezos to be one of 4 crew members to make the flight. Speaking at a press conference after landing, Funk said the ride was nice, but she wishes it had been longer and higher. The altitude at which the New Shepard capsule detached from the booster was not high enough for a clear view of the curvature of the Earth, something Funk was really looking forward to. Although she did witness the inky blackness of space, she also lamented that she was only weightless for a few minutes and that the capsule was a little crowded. Really? You got a free ride that costs about $500,000. Okay, that's the news. Let's start the show.
That's pretty cool. Of course, everybody's been going off on Mr. Bezos's extravaganza.
I understand it was a less than super ride, but
less than stellar
yourself.
Yeah, I wondered which one of us was going to go for that fun first.
Let him have his glory for a week before you come out and slam his penis-shaped rocket.
It's Amazon. You're supposed to give a review right after you get it.
Well,
I guess hers would be a 3-star.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't see about these. They're saying it's a billionaire who took a joyride to space. Yeah, but there are going to be dedicated science missions.
Yeah.
Well, government contracts coming up.
A friend of mine said that that these are just showboat. Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, they're just going up to space for nothing. No, they're not going up to space for nothing. I mean, Virgin Galactic really wants to build a tourism business on this, and Bezos, I mean, he's almost as serious as Elon Musk is about servicing the ISS and going even further to lay the groundwork for colonizing space. I mean, they're doing real science. It's not just because they're rich and can afford it.
Yeah. Now
they're proving the concept. They're trying to get all the kinks out of the machinery before lots of people start doing it.
And they're doing what NASA hasn't been able to do in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
Let's get us back to another planetary body.
Yes, actually. Yeah. Yeah. If that's what you think it is, it was Free Taco Day at Taco Bell. It is my ego, I promise you. But also, a lot of these missions, the science they're actually going to conduct in that 2 minutes sweet time of 0G is an experiment that would go to the ISS that only needs 2 minutes of the mixing of whatever in 0G, and then it's put on a shelf to sit for 6 months. Now, these experiments that go up on these Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin can be in the lab the same day, if not the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Domino's needs to build a rocket.
Yeah.
That still won't make their pizza any better, just because
No.
it does finally get here in a half an hour.
And Michaela Jace says exactly. This was advertising to show the safety of it all and to sell it to us.
Well, they're not selling it to me.
No, I ain't got that kind of money.
Pull out of my budget.
Yeah.
Actually, I up until last week, I could have afforded a Virgin Galactic ticket.
Yeah. And
but I decided I was going to pay off my credit cards instead, so I no longer have quite that much.
I don't know if you guys saw my special report with Armchair Rocket Science yesterday.
I saw some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to have a correspondent right there at the gate to the launch site with that booster in the background, that was just unreal.
At the gate? He was right across the road.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
That's as close as you can humanly get it, unless you have a SpaceX.
Unless you got a SpaceX badge.
Unless you own the company.
Yeah, I told them I want my Picard moment. If I ever met Elon, I want a Picard moment with one of them.
Well, that's one of the biggest improvements.
Finally, a Picard moment.
Define.
You reach up and touch it.
Star Trek First Contact, when he's down in the missile silo and he puts both hands on the Phoenix and he lays his cheek to it. It's like, I can feel the history that this is about.
Data's like, so?
Yeah. I want my Picard moment.
Make it so.
Actually, I kind of like the Riker moment where he shot Zephram Cochrane in the ass.
Yeah. We don't have time for this.
And Christian says, as much as the nation loves Bezos, he's slowly taking the fiction out of science fiction. All of these guys are.
Well, see, that's where people like me come in. I'm putting it right back just as quick as I can shovel.
Yeah. Yeah, you can now expand your imagination.
Well, I mean, like I've been saying,
that was what the 60s was for.
Yeah.
Democratizing space. It's making space available for more than just the elite astronauts of 2 or 3 countries. So
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the Brits started making deals with Virgin Galactic to try and reboot the space program that they haven't had for 50 years.
I don't think so. I think Great Britain would be more interested in faster flights to New York.
Well, that's part of the plan. That's part of the plan.
What is it, Concorde?
Yes, Concorde retired decades ago. You know.
Have you ever heard of the Skylon system that's being developed?
I have not.
That sounds so familiar. But it's from a long way back.
If you can imagine, it's a cross between an SR-71 and a cargo plane with hybrid rocket engines. This thing can take off from an airport, fly up into outer space, drop off cargo, come back in, and land in an airport. And it's kind of neat. The engines, it looks a lot like an SR-71, but the engines are designed so that it takes off with like a jet engine, breathing air. And once it gets up to a certain altitude, they close off the air and it becomes a rocket engine.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know I've seen a few concepts of the.
They're still working on the engine design and some of the cooling systems.
Yeah, that's the trouble with going that fast. The plane heats up quite a lot.
Yeah.
That's why the SR-71 was always leaking fluids when it was on the ground, because it had to get hot and everything had to expand to close up all the little gaps in between the panels on the skin, because it would get very, very hot.
Beautiful plane.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Have you ever heard the guy tell the story, the SR-71 tell the story about the flyby of the control tower at Sacramento?
No, but I do love the one about the airspeed check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the airspeed check.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this one.
Except that a Navy pilot had to be the goat in it, but whatever.
Well,
Hey, Carl.
inter-service rivalries are always going to be with us.
Well,
now that's pretty.
Until an Air Force pilot can land on a moving airstrip, we all know who the best is.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps.
I should have to say that.
Oh,
I've never been in
Where
the
did that come
military.
from? I'm injured.
oh.
No, the Marines have to have Harriers so they can land. Ooh, okay. I think I can make it.
Now you got to remember, Harriers were made by the British. That in the middle of a battle, they go, "Oh, 4 o'clock, tea time."
No, the story on the SR-71 and the control tower at Sacramento, there was an air show down mid-California that the SR-71, he said there was a team that flew it in, a team that demonstrated, and then he was on the team that flew it out. And he just, him and his co-pilot sort of giggled and says, you want to, they were approaching over Sacramento. He says, they got on the air controller's frequency. Could you, he said, this is, so-and-so's SR-71. He said, would you like a flyby? Of course, the control tower is not going to pass down seeing an SR-71 flyby. So as they approached, he said, do you want us to go down the runway or down the ramp? The control tower says, down the ramp, down the ramp. So they trimmed her out, rolled the burners, right down the ramp. Halfway down the ramp, they banked up and pulled away. They giggled. The air controllers were going, that's awesome. That's cool. Yeah. And they go, can you do it again? Can you do it again? And he goes, let's not. We need to keep sort of on our heading. He gets landed, and he lands back at the base, and there is the base commander greeting them at the hangar.
That's never a good thing.
And it was sort of late in the evening, and the base commander goes, as he gets down, he goes, how was your flight? And he says, it was great. He goes, do we have anything in the regulations about doing flybys of the tower at Sacramento? He goes, no, sir, we don't. He goes, well, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I want you to have one on the desk. Made him write up the rule that you can't do no more.
Only on request.
And he said, and to further the story, he was an airline pilot.
Oh, man.
So he was doing some leg from New York to Sacramento, and there was an air traffic controller on there. And he asked her, he goes, were you working? She goes, oh, yeah, when the SR-71 flew by. He goes, yeah. He goes, that was me. And she went, oh, that was hilarious. She said people in the terminal were diving for cover as you flew by. I mean, because, they approached him at near Mach. Oh, and this I found out through my show last night. The FAA rewrote the rules for astronaut wings now.
Mm-mm.
Oh, what did they do?
It has to be a manned, controlled flight.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
This,
that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah. Otherwise, it cheapens them.
yeah,
you can send a monkey into space. Doesn't make him an astronaut.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they're still debating on whether to retroactively pull Bezos and Wally's wings.
They better
I
not
wouldn't
pull
pull
Wally.
Wally's.
The
That would
FAA
be the
will
worst.
refer to
On your
that.
hands.
Yeah.
But if you pull Bezos, then everything on Amazon's going to go up by 20%.
Mhm.
And Michaela J saying hi to everybody. She's about to call it a night.
Good night, Michaela.
I think she already got off. Ooh, man, I'm a little
Yeah,
tired
that was
myself.
about 5 minutes ago, so she's probably already gone.
Yeah.
Timestamps are a wonderful thing when you pay
Oh,
attention to them.
Mhm.
At least we don't have all the big comment dumps like Brian K. Morris.
That's because we've only got 4 people watching on this,
Yep.
not 600 like Brian would have. We invite Brian on here. We get some more viewers.
He said, what was it, yesterday morning during his broadcast that he said he might pop on here or something, but.
Yeah. Well, he's got to finish talking about comic books right now.
Oh,
Yep.
well, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be almost 10 o'clock before he finishes the comic book show.
Yeah, they've been going over a lot lately. It used to be just about an hour and a half when they first started, but
Well,
now
there's so much going on. They've got so much to talk about, and they have so much fun.
Yeah.
They really do. I'm not a big comic book guy, but I have watched a few times, and they're having fun with all of it.
And they're actually growing, which is good.
Oh, that's always good.
And Carl says they made me late here. Okay, so I got something to fuss about.
Yeah.
On never mind the furthermore in the morning. Brian, you're holding up my viewers talking about comic books.
Oh,
Hey,
Okay.
Let's
Joe?
all run over to his show
Yeah.
real quick and like heckle his comic book show.
I'm gonna try something here.
All right.
Would that be?
Uh-oh. Mute one of them. Mute one of them.
There. How's that?
Okay. Of course,
Oh, wait.
there's a little bit of a lag on the bottom one.
yeah, really.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, now it's syncing up now.
Okay.
So which one is
Yeah.
that?
Well, I had to mute. Well, this one is the iMac,
Yeah.
and this one's the laptop.
Oh, okay.
Sad that the laptop actually has a little bit better camera.
How old is the iMac?
Well,
The iMac
Well-
it's 2019, and the laptop I've had for five years.
Eh,
But the laptop's a gaming laptop, so it's got a really
it's got
really
some
good
speed
video
to it.
card.
Yeah.
Video. Yeah.
And the iMac is a standard iMac. I mean, my wife bought it for me for Christmas, and God bless her. Love her to death for it because, she replaced my 2005 iMac, but the 2005 actually runs faster.
It depends on the build. Yep.
Yeah. right.
I was amazed to find
I
out my laptop was faster than my desktop, but still not fast enough to keep me from lagging when I use the green screen.
Yeah.
So, fortunately, one of the online computer sales companies had this deal on this workstation, and it doesn't have much RAM, but boy, does it have a great chip in it.
Did you get a
I haven't-
video card too?
Just the standard one that came with it.
Oh, okay, so it's the onboard video card.
It's the onboard video card. I think it's only got like 8 gigs of RAM, and the chip is like I forget exactly, but it's like 5th generation, 6th generation, something just absolutely almost right out of the box. So it works really well. I'm not really satisfied with the screen color. It seems a little bit washed out compared to the desktop computer, which I did get an ultimate video card to put in that back in the day. But it's, the desktop is still way slower at processing stuff like the green screen signal.
All right.
And the weird thing is, everybody was blaming my crappy internet. It's still the same crappy internet. It's just a better computer now. I switched up to a larger size can with them strings between it.
Oh, that reminds me of a video that I saw. This guy went and took and straight piped a car, and they were trying to get, the loudest exhaust. So he came out behind the front wheels with the exhaust, ran the 2 exhaust pipes up the A-pillar, joined them in, and then put like a air siren horn on the back into like a trumpet. So when he'd rev the motor, it was, straight pipes into a megaphone.
I bet he got pulled over a lot.
Well, he was in England and was paid to do it for a TV show.
Okay. I
But he
believe I
said,
might know that TV show.
yes. No, it was Colin. No, it was the YouTuber Colin Furs for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He says, no, I didn't drive it on the streets, but my neighbors sure were glad to see me load this on the trailer to bring it down here.
Oh, Carl. He just asked what's behind me on the green screen. Carl, that's my dining room and living room. That picture is about 8 years old, maybe. So my wife has redecorated a few things. But
I'm bringing it up full screen so everybody can see what you got.
Yeah. Well, basically that used to be my bar. Well, there we go. There we go. That used to be my bar before it became a photo gallery and knick-knack shelf. That used to be loaded up with bottles of liquor, and I still have the empty bottles, some of them, the fancy ones. But and got the entertainment center over there on what is now stage right for me. I built that shelf, and it's got a fairly decent widescreen TV, not anything really huge or anything, but it's got a 4-channel stereo on it, a Kenwood turntable, about 500 vinyl record albums on the bottom 2 shelves. All stuff that I've done over the years. The what used to be the bar, that's a headboard for an old waterbed that I salvaged from a Dempsey dumpster.
Yeah.
Back when I was living in a trailer park. And people come over and go, wait a minute, that looks familiar. And I go, did you live through the 70s?
Oh, I actually miss my big full wave water mattress.
Yep, we had a waveless one,
I did too.
and unfortunately, I did not replace the mattress every 5 years like I was supposed to. After about 20 years, my elbow went through it in the middle of the night. My wife and I were bailing water out of the waterbed and carrying it to the bathroom about 10 feet away and throw it in the tub. And then we had to get the shop vac out to dry up the carpet. But I had custom built rebuilt the frame. There was no particle board involved. It was like 3/4 inch plywood, and there's like 8 coats of polyurethane sealing that bugger together. So the water did not leak from the bed. It was just what we spilled with the buckets.
Yeah. We had one, and I surprised my wife and got the under cabinet, the underneath cabinets with the side doors, and I kept them hid from her while I was having a cabinet shop make a door for the. It just had this board that slid down on the end.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cabinet shop cut a hole in that board on the end and make a matching cabinet door, and changed out all the handles to where it all matched. So I had that center shot up through there as storage.
Yeah, I had to raise mine up a little bit. Back when I had a broken leg, I found that the original pedestal was about 4 inches too low for me to comfortably get in and out.
Yeah.
With my broken leg, so I whipped together another framework to go into the original pedestal, and I have often thought about reworking the whole thing and just making slide out drawers that come out from under it, and put my firearms in there as a gun safe.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, I mean, practically no one, if they didn't notice the drawer pulls, would think that there was an armory underneath the bed.
Yeah.
What was that? The first Punisher movie where he had all the in his little apartment, he had all the different hiding spots. He'd hit a certain piece
Mm-hmm.
and pop out, and there's an Uzi or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've thought about several different things to do like that, but I'm not sufficiently paranoid to actually do it. I'm more worried about burglars than I am the fall of civilization. So.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, one of the reasons we got rid of our water bed is a 3 or 4 letter animal, and it didn't D.
Yeah. You'd be amazed at how many patches you get to pull on if you own certain types of pets, and I don't mean goldfish inside the mattress.
Yeah.
No, we kept the frame and everything, and bought a California king size memory foam mattress to go in it. It was very difficult to locate California king size memory foam mattress. But it's been well worth it. It doesn't sleep anywhere near as well as the waterbed, but it's very comfortable.
Yeah, I like that. Ours was the full wave, so you get to rock and you can just drift on off to sleep. Of course, you got to get you've got sea legs when you get up in the morning.
We went with the full waveless, so it had the dampener. The foam pad inside the mattress itself that would kill the waves rather quickly.
Oh.
I guess I had our water bed for 12 years, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I think the only reason we got rid of it, we moved to an upstairs apartment, and it was an older building, and they wouldn't allow us to have a water bed. So
there's Donna Carleen, the fashionably late.
Yeah.
Which means that Brian must be finished with his show.
And Carl, I'm glad you're going to be good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Save it for tomorrow night, Carl. I'm sure you can remember things for 24 hours. I'm going to pay for that. I shouldn't pick on Carl.
Yeah.
I should not pick on Carl. Oh, he'll get me for that one.
And well deserved.
Yeah, I deserve everything that's coming to me.
And Lewis, is our project coming along, or are you still working on the other one?
I'm
still working on
this one right now, but I'm really expecting. almost halfway done, and now that I've rejiggered my workspace, work should progress much faster. I'll be done with it by the end of the weekend.
Okay.
I'm hoping to deliver it to the client on Monday.
Okay. And Ace Bonnie is saying hello to us. Hello, Ace.
And
Ace, where are you
return.
located? Where are you located, Ace? Because I didn't never get that from you. And Donna saying, "Don't bet on that, Dan." And Carl goes, 24 hours. He lucky if he can remember what he went downstairs for.
I can relate, believe me.
I have
Okay.
I
have
shall
that problem.
return.
All right.
Do you remember where you're going? Or do you know where you're going?
And Facebook user says, "Is there a sexy older name you like for a lady?" They mean, I think Charlotte or Deborah, and they like Lorraine. I don't know who that is, but they are on one of our Facebook pages.
I'll tell you a name, an older name that I like is Genevieve. I met a Genevieve in Cleveland, Tennessee, of all places. She was liberated on D-Day. She lived just south of the beaches in Normandy. And an American soldier walked up to her house, checked to see if everything was okay. And she just was enamored with U.S. military after that. A couple of years later, when she was old enough, married a U.S. soldier and moved here to the States. And it was an absolutely fascinating visit. And man, she showed me pictures when she was younger, and it was just like a dream. I mean, she was just the whole thing. I mean, she was warm and wonderful, intelligent and beautiful. And her name was Genevieve. So
okay.
I've always had a fascination with that name.
And the Facebook user is Ben Riverman. John, if you want to pull that up, the what Ben needs to do so we can see his name.
Lewis, I was going to say any kind of old French name like that. Genevieve, something like that.
Yeah.
Great names.
Yeah. My daughter is naming her granddaughter, her new daughter. Her name will be Evelyn Rose.
Great name.
Nice name.
And she's going to call her Evie.
Evie Rose.
Not bad.
And Carl says Genevieve is a great name.
Mm-hmm.
But he likes the name Lorraine.
I had a cousin Lorraine one time, cousin-in-law.
Sweet Lorraine.
Ruined for me.
Yeah, cousin-in-law. That's a Southern term. But there's even one more Southern term. Step cousin-in-law.
Yeah.
Twice removed.
Come on, Bill.
By the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't never go back to that bar again.
Twice removed and restraining order applied.
Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff. Lorraine's back.
Yeah, I did remember where I was going, but at my age, that's rather easy to do because it gets a little bit insistent. There's a constant reminder, but sometimes you have to move quickly.
Don't worry, Dan. It'll take care of itself.
Yeah, but I don't like cleaning up a mess.
That's why you need the pod catheter.
Yeah, the podcast. Oh, sorry, I've had the normal kind before. That's why I'm in this situation now, where I have to move when the urge takes me.
Oh, so you're that way. That means you need the hail pail.
Yeah,
well,
yep. After my motorcycle got messed up because of a drunk driver running a red light, I had to wear a catheter for about 3 months.
God.
There
I had to
was
wear one for 24 hours after laser lithotripsy, and I'm like, dude, whatever it takes, I am
Get it out.
going through that.
Yep.
again.
no.
I had one for a week,
Mm.
but
Oh,
Evidently, as I flew off of the motorcycle, my groin impacted the gas cap of the fuel tank, and there were some tears in very delicate areas.
see, Dan, I might should have sent you something other than a decal.
I'm still working on the Iron Man armor.
Well, I'm lucky. I only had a catheter for maybe 8-9 hours, and I told him, I said, I don't care if I pee in the bed, pull it out. I can't take it anymore. It hurts. Well, I know how long.
It hurts even worse.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say I know how long I am, and I know how big of a fella I am, which ain't much. But when they pull out 2.5 feet of catheter, I said, no wonder it won't drain. It was wrapped around and probably pinched.
That's what that tickle in your throat was.
Hey, Dan.
Yep.
You mentioned Iron Man armor. Got to show you my show and tell. This is the 1/6 scale Hot Toys Iron Man Mark 43 from the Age of Ultron movie. It does light up, but let me turn it on. I don't even know if you can see it. These batteries in this are not great. And, well, there, I got his chest to light up a little bit, and maybe I can get an arm to light up. Yeah.
There you go.
And there's what I've ordered new batteries, but he's fully posable, but he is also die cast. This sucker weighs about 8 pounds. I'll take him off here, and you can lift up certain ports and pose them different ways. He's got 3 headpieces. One is a distress that's got the crack where he's been fighting Ultron. And on the base, you have, let me sit this down a second. You have your Ultron piece on there, and he kind of moves a little bit. Or you can take his arms off, reposition and everything.
Thank you, Sean. We appreciate it. We absolutely are.
But,
and that's why you're friends with us.
And Bill, I'm going to tell you, if you say that thing weighs almost 8 pounds, that's a weapon.
This is very, very heavy. I've got a Mezco die cast Iron Man. It's in the classic armor, and that puppy weighs a couple pounds, and it's only 6-inch one. But this thing
I've got a crowbar that weighs less than that. Seriously.
There's so many jokes I could go with right now.
I mean, I could see somebody breaking into Bill's house and he grabs the Iron Man up and they go, "What are you going to do with that?" You step a little closer, I'm going to show you. You can brain them with that thing.
Yeah.
That's
I'm going to shoot you with the repulsor. I'm just going to hit you with it and floor you.
Really?
That's a deadly weapon, Bill.
But yeah. So,
Ace Bonnie says he likes that Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it came out a few years ago, so I got mine off of eBay, but they got a couple new ones out I really like, but I like as far as the modern armor goes, the Mark 43 was always my favorite, and so I just ended up buying that.
Oh, Ben, you just got a question for Dan. If he legally purchased a UFO, it was legally his, and was registered, insured, could the U.S. government take it away?
Only if it was better than any of the UFOs that they already have. You would see one of those, what is not eminent domain, the one where they used to seize property if they want to build a road or something.
It's eminent domain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, number one, if you have it registered, then it's no longer a U. It's just an FO.
And that's what and that's what you tell the government when they come to get it.
It's an RFO.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say.
Oh. Of course, now, Dan, you now have the premise for the next Tom Darby.
Oh, I've got to finish these last two stories. I've got to get those books, that book to Scott.
Yeah, but Tom comes back and has his own UFO parked out in the field.
If you have to go through motor vehicle registration to get your cars and such registered, is there an aircraft version of that at the airport or something like that? Where you take your Cessna and...
I mean, you have to go through the FAA to get a tail number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could just see the inspector now to come out. You have a kit-built aircraft, right? Or a, experimental aircraft you want tail number on. Yeah. What the fuck is that?
I call it the Jupiter 2. It does 0 to Alpha Centauri in about 2 years.
If you don't get lost first.
You get well.
And Carl Whichman says, did he purchase it from the Zeta Reticulans? It's probably stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, them Greys don't respect anybody's property rights.
Yeah. And
they'll pick up anything.
I always lock my doors when I fly through Zeta Reticuli. Okay.
Through the Armchair Rocket Science and working with Ocean Cam, I have met a guy named, he commented in here just a few minutes, Jack Marshall. Jack Marshall was in the effects company that did the special effects for 2.0 BSG and the Trek movies. So I'm going
the new Trek movies, right?
Yeah, the new Trek movies.
Okay.
You know, the great special effects.
Lens Flare Incorporated.
Yeah. I actually told him the new Battlestar Galactica space battle scenes were awesome. Lewis, I know you watched it.
What, the new
Battlestar Galactica?
Well, you say new. You mean the one that's about 20 years old?
About 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about 10, 15 years old.
Yeah.
2.0.
Not the old the
original
generation.
Not Lauren Green.
Right.
Yeah.
Glenn Larson.
James Callis.
Yeah. And he said they actually gave us great liberties, but they had some technical advisor on spaceflight. While the ships were doing those flips and all that, which is the way they would have to fight in 0G.
Instead of banking and turning like World War II aircraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what movie series used that idea.
Well, guys, I just got a text from the missus.
Uh-oh. What'd you do? Are you in trouble?
No. I'm not in trouble, but I do need to go to her rescue.
Uh-oh.
She's having
It
difficulty.
involved a bidet malfunction.
No, it has to do with the Apple TV. She's still getting used to the bare bones remote. We had a Fire Stick for a couple of years, and it just kept, crashing and not doing well. And anyway, we're at Best Buy last night getting the cable that would allow me to hook up from the Thunderbolt outlet on my iMac to the 4K. So we go in there for a $25 cable. And
$500 later.
You are so close, my friend. We wind up, because our 3D Blu-ray player also quit ejecting. And of course, nobody works on these things anymore. You bring it to a repair shop, they like throw it in the garbage. So our 3D Blu-ray player is not ejecting, wouldn't open anymore. So she says, well, let's look and see what they've got. See if they've got any 3Ds. Okay, so we went and we looked and we found one for $179. And then she says, what about replacing the Fire Stick? And I'm like, well, I don't want to Google what you call it, and I don't want another Fire Stick. And I've got a Roku downstairs and Roku built into another one of my TVs. I'm not crazy about Roku. Plus, Roku no longer supports YouTube TV, which I pay $70 a month for. Long story made short, we wound up getting an Apple TV.
Yeah.
Which is great because, I mean, I've got all kinds of Apple products already anyway. So it's interoperable with everything in the house. But it's a little bit of a learning curve figuring out that 4-button remote. So,
and I thought the Fire Stick remote was minimal.
They're very much the same, except the Fire Stick has one button on it that I wish the Apple had, and that's a back button.
Yeah.
It's like every, from the home page to the menu to the apps, everything has a different way of getting out of it.
So this Blu-ray player that won't eject, they no longer make them with the little pinhole that you can stick a straightened out paperclip into and manually release it?
I've tried. It's jammed.
Oh.
Now, I've got it down on my bench, and I'm going to open it up and see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. But she's been, it's not that she's been wanting to see 3D movies, but there are a couple of Blu-rays that she has that she's been wanting to watch that she hasn't been able to, so she was tired of waiting.
I bought a new TV. Okay. This is the remote that came with it. And you want to talk about putting advertising on every damn thing that you have that's electronic these days? Look at the top 6 buttons.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Guess which 6 buttons I never use?
Remote, and there's Hulu, Vudu, Netflix, and Sling.
Vizio, same way.
Yeah.
And what really pisses me off about this one, if I'm not paying attention,
yep. Here's my
I
Vizio
always hit the
remote.
Prime Video because it's right underneath the power button.
Oh,
Yeah. Now here's my Vizio remote for the 4K TV. I love it because it's got
A keyboard on the back.
QWERTY keyboard on the back. But sure enough, look, it's got the Amazon, Netflix, and iHeart. Really? iHeart for a TV?
They knew who you were. They saw you coming.
I will say my LG remote is almost comparable to the Fire Stick remote. It has a home button, volume up and down, back, exit.
Yeah.
That's it. Pretty much.
This I was actually surprised that this Roku had as many buttons.
And Carl says
thing about the Apple though is that all you got to do is swipe down and boom, you've got a Apple TV remote on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Fire Stick is a.
Now, if I really want to get in trouble, I could start messing with the TV from here.
Yes.
I don't want that kind of trouble.
I've got a Western Digital media player hooked up to our TV, and it comes with an app I could use on Android or an iPad. so that I could actually play stuff in the living room and use the iPad or my Android phone as the remote.
Yep.
Now, I rarely ever do that because, living room TV is Lindsay's territory. I mean, that's where she watches her.
No man's land.
Yeah, it's right there next to the kitchen. I'm allowed to go to the beer fridge and come back, and that's about it. I don't mess with the TV, and I only cook when she allows me to. So, but I could, all these external hard drives I've got back here with all the stuff that I've got to play, it's probably 15 terabytes worth of movies and cartoons and TV shows and music and whatnot. Hey, Willow.
Hi, Willow.
But I could run it. I could run it through to the TV in the living room and go out there and invade her space. Speaking
Carl,
of which, you need to saddle up there, Don Quixote, and go rescue your wife.
he's fixing it from his phone.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm on Dan.
Roku also has an iPhone app
Mm.
that you can use this as a remote.
Dan, I'm gonna let you build my office for you from a distance. So, I mean, if you want to come over here and help me, I mean that's fine. But
that's a bit of a
Alright.
commute.
I just got a reminder text. The Queen is waiting.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we'll holler at you.
I'll
Thanks
see you
for
guys.
thanks for your help.
have a good one, Lewis.
Like the
All
Queen.
right, we'll see you Saturday. And Donna Carlene says, "Wapa, what?
What?
All right.
Whoa.
Why? Woj?
She was speaking Polish to us.
I still
I
ain't got it.
don't think so. I think that's typo.
Oh,
Oh, that's Taiwanese. Okay.
Yeah,
Japanese.
usually I can read typo, but that one's beyond my
Well,
maybe,
experience.
Say,
she was typing and
Wo-
she fell off her chair mid-drift.
pretty much.
Well, it might have been something I said.
And Willow, I gotta ask, are you feeling any better, or is it still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How's your nose?
Oh.
Oh, she's saying Willow.
Oh,
Okay.
she's saying Willow.
Naturally, Carl speaks fluent Donna.
Yeah.
Which that was a great movie. I love
Yeah.
Val Kilmer and Willow.
But still, you gotta admit, well, you gotta admit that is good. Like, okay.
Whomping Willow.
That could be Donna's new hashtag. You know.
And Carl says he can read typos
Now.
now.
Hey, after what has it been? Almost 25 years of editing
Good.
on Apelia.
Good girl.
I can read a lot of typos, but some of them still get a little bit obscure there.
Oh, after being out there at Delphi before it closed, you learn how to read a lot of typos.
Oh, Willow says she tested gravity. It still works.
Uh,
And what was it? That Robin Williams line? Get out of bed after drinking all night. Oh shit, gravity works.
Yeah.
My problem is gravity gusts.
Oh yeah. You ever get that thing where you're walking along and you're about to climb a step and all of a sudden one of your knees decides that it wants to bend backwards or something?
Yeah.
It's
it sounds like a shotgun when it does it too.
Glad I'm not a horse. Somebody has shot me a long time ago.
They shoot horses for much less than what we have to go through. And John's just sitting there going,
Yep.
I like how John's just sort of chilled out. Like,
Hey, I have never seen John anything else but chilled.
Chill, man.
and Carl Witzman says, I still say the Canadian government is at fault for not labeling the gravity anomaly. You should sue.
Well, it keeps moving around.
Yeah. And
if
Ace,
it's staying in one place, I could avoid it. But, it follows me like a puppy.
And Ace Bonnie has now labeled Carl Whitzman as the typos translator.
It's kind of like shorthand. Donna's shorthand.
Yeah. Oh, I love Donna. I'm going to tell you right now, and Dan can attest to you, the more I like you, the more I pick on you. There are times Dan wishes I didn't like him so much.
Only 2 or 3 times an hour.
Well, I think we had about 10 people leave Alabama last week after y'all's comments.
Oh, they found the way out.
Yeah, they got the hell away. They got the hell away from
the Kia store.
Got the hell away from me.
I didn't realize that you did that weather network.
Yeah.
We need to hook Josh up with Stephanie Osborne.
Now that is an intelligent idea.
Yes.
Josh is married though.
I don't care.
So Stephanie.
So Stephanie, but those two could collaborate because she's got a tropical weather update. Plus, she also does a cosmic weather report.
Oh yeah, that'd be
She does space weather as well as tropical storms all over the world. So
yeah, that would be great to have.
And Donna Carleen says, "Joe Dog, did I complain about the way you treat me? Not yet."
Give him a few minutes. Give him a few minutes. He's just getting warmed up.
Yeah. No, Josh, doesn't the Perseids start here very soon?
Now.
They should be going on now.
They should be going on now.
I was about to say they peak out in August. I don't know the exact date in August they peak out, but they've done started.
And
2:00 in the morning though for the peak. I mean, if you can.
Well, I was talking about like there's a peak date.
Date.
Yeah, there always is.
I think sometime last year was like the 16th or 20th or something like that, but it changes every year. So.
Well, I was guilty of
now until August 24th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With the peaks coming in mid-August.
Does Stephanie do that on YouTube? No, she does it on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yep.
Osborne Cosmic Weather Report.
Mm-hmm. Look that up. You will. If there's ever a storm coming anywhere on the whole planet, she will know about it. She used to be a storm chaser.
Well, I was going to say like the sunspots and stuff like that.
Yep.
Releases that has the effect on Earth's weather. A lot of people
Matter
don't.
of fact, one of the recent things that she did on the cosmic weather report, there was what
CME?
is it? Coronal mass ejection. Yeah, and evidently it was pretty spectacular, and she covered that. And if those things get energetic enough.
No, it cannot.
You and me might actually be able to see the northern lights down here where we are.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think they've got as far south as Tennessee before.
Yep.
Almost Monteagle Mountain, not quite where me and John are, but Nashville for sure and Knoxville, but in between Nashville, Knoxville, and Chattanooga is where it goes.
But
that's a lot of energy it takes to push a display that far south.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people don't know that has a lot to do with Earth's weather. That and volcanic activity and earthquakes.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
And we are overdue for a good not lava volcano, we're overdue for a good ash volcano somewhere around the planet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
Joe,
We had three big ones
say
last
that
year.
in the same way that somebody would say we're overdue for a brisk outbreak of the plague.
Yeah.
well, I mean, if you get all that, I can't even think the gas that comes out with the volcano. It's not methane. Well, there is some methane, but
There's
Well, a
carbon
lot of
dioxide,
carbon
sulfur.
dioxide, sulfur, sulfur dioxide.
sulfur dioxide, and
Yeah, that's the stuff that turns into acid rain.
yeah. But it'll cool down the Earth for. I mean, if it was a mass ejection of all of that.
Yeah, yep. What year was the year without a summer? Back, what was it, the 20s or earlier?
Are you talking about the one over there, like Pompeo or before?
1883.
What was it? 1883?
1883. It was the eruption of Krakatoa.
Krakatoa.
Oh yeah. There was so much dust in the air that in the U.S. summer never arrived.
And see, that's another thing people don't take into account with. I don't want to get political, but the CO2 in the air and stuff like that. You've got all the, like up there in Antarctic and stuff like that, in the Arctic, all that. There's volcanoes under all of that stuff, and it's releasing methane and stuff.
Yeah, they're having a problem with that over in the Soviet Union, or over in Russia. Excuse me, Soviet Union. You can tell how old I am. It's gotten so warm over there. Some of the methane hydrates are actually
bubbling.
They're blowing their top. They've actually had pictures of places that several acres have just erupted at one time, just a big bubble bursting. Yep. And methane is one of those greenhouse gases that we really don't like because it makes things warm up, which makes things worse. Now, you really do not want to get the Gulf of Mexico overheated because there's methane hydrates down there. And when that stuff gets warm, it comes up like foam on a beer.
Yeah. And speaking of meth, Willow says she really hopes for the zombie outbreak that the movies and video games are foretelling. I believe I need a better reason to carry a shotgun in my city other than protecting myself from the meth heads.
Tell her to go to Danville, Illinois. It's already happening.
Yeah. And Ace Bonnie says Joe Dog releases enough methane gas, I've heard. I am registered with the EPA, thank you.
Do you have to call them when you go to Taco Bell?
No, but I do have to fill out paperwork. And there are times that I do have to notify the sewage treatment plant.
I bet
Joe's not allowed in any public swimming pools anymore.
I was about to say, I bet Al Gore's making some good money off your carbon credits.
Yeah, Elon should hire me. Feed me bean burritos from Taco Bell.
Let's see. Elon, is he using methane and hydrogen?
Yeah. Methane and oxygen.
The Krakatoa explosion in 1883 was not the year without a summer. It was the Mount Tambora explosion in Indonesia. 1815, which is the Krakatoa's in Indonesia too.
Yeah, they're really close together.
The first one you said that was off of Italy, correct?
No, Krakatoa's in Indonesia too.
Indonesia, okay.
That island exploded and just disappeared.
Which one? What's the one in off of Italy? Is that the Pompeo I'm thinking about?
There's several. Pompeii and what's the other one?
The city? Herculaneum.
Yeah. No.
The volcano is Vesuvius. The volcano is Vesuvius.
Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna is the one on Sicily.
And it's active right now.
It went active last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pompeii rumbled on them. Or yeah, what was
it's right across the bay from them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things still have a little bit of fire in their belly.
Well, I was about to say, if you, and see, that's something that interests me also is seismic activity. If you'll watch what happens on one side of the globe, say like Japan, around the Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
That energy transfer will trigger something on the other side of the earth.
Oh yeah.
And like I think it was yesterday, there was a 7.0 off of the coast of Panama earthquake. So that energy is going to transfer somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, Mount St. Helens gave them all a scare, a couple of years ago.
I was about to say, I mean, you got Rainier. I mean, you got all them earth. I mean, you've got super volcanoes in freaking California that's been dormant forever. So
Yellowstone National Park.
And that's another.
That's one that's actually active, and
yep.
If it goes, it's.
Yeah, at HallowCon, Stephanie Osborne will be giving her one of her panels will be called "Kiss Your Ash Goodbye."
There you go.
About Yellowstone.
Believe it or not, right there in Tennessee, there's a volcano in the mountains right there.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that.
Well, where do you think the hot springs in Junaluska come from?
Well, we know about it, but
that's not somebody still boiling over.
Yeah.
In World War II, Mount Vesuvius, same one that did Pompeii and Herculean, Mount Vesuvius erupted in World War II and wiped out a good chunk of the U.S. Air Force.
I did not know that.
Let me see if I can find. Lost 80 B-25 bombers. And see, that was from the U.S. Heavy Bomber Division.
Now, were those sitting on the ground, or was that dust sucked in the engines while they were flying?
They were sitting on the ground and got ate up by ash. Totally put so much ash on it, its wings collapsed.
Wow.
And the skin didn't last long either because of the acid thing.
Yep. Now, about 2010, 2011, there was something going off in Iceland. And Lindsay and I were flying over to England. The airlines had to reroute around the ash plume.
Yeah, that was
the engines from getting choked by dust.
Yeah, that was in that was the ice falling into a volcano. 2010, 2011, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
And that thing erupted for like a year, I think.
That's a B-25 bomber. And you can see Mount Vesuvius in the background.
And you can also see through the flaps.
Well, not only that, but that's where the plexiglass for the tail gunner was. And that's, that's where the plexiglass for the tail gunner was. And that was the plexiglass bubble on top for the top gunner.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it's not exactly bubble shaped anymore.
No,
it kind of looks like something Salvador Dali would paint.
Yeah, you dump sulfuric acid on any kind of plastic, and it's not going to last for very long.
And if you look real close to the background, you can see what it did to the tree. That acid stuff, you can see what it did to the trees in the background.
Oh yeah,
and that's got to be another volcano next to Vesuvius, right there.
I'm trying to. It's got a. Darn it! Now you're going to make me look that up.
We make you look everything up, John.
Well, I was while you're looking at it, I was going to say, if the New Madrid fault goes off, we're all screwed over this.
Yeah.
Stephanie's got another book about that.
Yeah.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Wow. We need to get her on here one night just to talk.
Well, you need to come to HallowCon and actually
just talk to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told you I was coming, so. Yeah. Well, that's if my wife's off that weekend, so I can't drive because of my epilepsy. But
I understand. My wife is the same way.
But yeah, either way, either I try to get her on my show, on one of our podcasts.
That picture of Mount Vesuvius.
Yeah.
The one you saw that was smoking is the new crater. The one you saw to the right was a ridgeline that's part of the old original crater.
Oh wow!
So it collapsed a long time ago, and it was the original crater was something like a mile and a half across. The new crater's like less than half a mile.
Well, I mean, you think about Hawaii. I mean, all the islands. That's basically all they are is volcanoes.
Yeah,
So,
really. And the continental drift is keep moving a
moving
little
them.
bit further away from the original plume, and it keeps coming back up.
Oh yeah.
That thing is still hot.
I'm trying to think. What's the other girl's name? She's getting back into meteorology. Amy Metz. She's from. Yeah. Y'all know her?
You mentioned her a while back.
Yeah. She's about to move back to Georgia and get a.
The one that's in Hawaii.
Yes. She's in and out of our group, but she does cosmic stuff and earthquakes. That's what she went back to school to do all that stuff. So I mean, her and the girl y'all are talking about, they need to talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When do you get off?
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. All right.
Now, did you see the footage of the last big lava flows coming out of Hawaii?
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing right there, and scary.
Yeah, there's no way. I wouldn't.
That would be Etna there, John?
That's Etna.
Okay.
And you can see it where the lava is going down the hill.
I was about to say, look at that big crater. It was like a meteor or asteroid hit that thing.
No, that would be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that's what. But I mean, big crater.
Okay, trivia. In Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth,
That's where he popped out.
Is where they came out after going from Iceland underground through all the tunnels and everything, and the exploration party actually popped up out of Mount Etna.
Did not know that.
That was one of the first books I ever checked out of a library.
Really?
Back in the fourth grade.
Clowns.
I started off with a 5-volume thing of H.G. Wells novels.
Ooh.
And Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. It was the first 2 books I ever checked out of a school library in the 4th grade.
Oh wow!
They kept looking at me going, "Are you sure that you're educated enough for this?" And I go, "Well."
So you will be.
I was about to say, the first, I think the first 3 or 4 things I got was some books on World War II and tornado books.
Colby books. C.B. Colby books. I used to check those out religiously. Yes.
Yeah, they gave us. You remember those aptitude tests, scholastic aptitude tests that they give you all through. Well, obviously, you didn't go to school in East Tennessee because it was just about every year.
Number 2 pencil.
I just don't remember them by choice.
No, yeah, you got them every year, elementary school.
And
Yep.
you had to have a number 2 pencil.
That's right.
Yep.
In the 4th grade, they gave me one of those, and I scored high enough to where the school put me in the high school freshman reading level.
Thank you, Willow.
In the 5th grade, they put me, another test, they put me as a high school senior reading level, 5th grade. And yes, I'm bragging.
I was going to say in 2nd grade, they put me in down here, they call it target school. They put you in a whole different school. And it's all like, higher grades and crap like that. So
yeah, they divided the class up into the different reading levels, and the teacher would give the most attention to the kids that needed it most, and the kids that were really further along than anybody expected. They'd pretty much leave them alone, just turn them loose and let them do whatever they wanted, as long as they didn't leave the classroom.
When I was in 2nd grade in Cherokee, they put me in the principal's office, but we won't talk about that.
Oh, I'll talk about the time that I went to the principal's office when I was in 2nd grade. I told a dirty limerick and got ratted out by one of the other students.
Oh.
Well, so that's one of the biggest problems though with like schooling. I think they don't give enough. Let's just say attention to. They make it boring for people that are smart. Let's just say that. I ain't downgrading nobody, but because that was one reason. I mean, I'll say it. I dropped out of school because I just got tired of being there because it just did not interest me.
See, I got tired of the thing I really got tired of was like when I was in school, nobody else had to try. Like I had to try. Like I was busting my tail on all my classes, getting straight A's, and I was seeing all these other kids getting F's, and they were moving on. And this went on for 9 years of schooling. By the time I got to high school, I just stopped caring. I just was like, why try? If these goobers over here are going to get passing grades, even though they all get F's, they're all dumb. None of them know how to do math. Half of them can barely speak English, even though it's the language they grew up with. Why even try? And then so in high school, I was getting like F's.
Nowadays they give them passing grades and push them forward because it makes the school look better. And when the school looks better, that's how they
more money
to get their funding. Yeah.
That no child left behind thing. True story. This is after I graduated. It was a few years after I graduated. There was one student, was the only student out of his entire class starting in the 9th grade. When everybody went to 9th grade, all the way through senior year, he was the only student that attempted, by the way, to drop out. The school paid him $200 to stay in class. And I was sitting there being all like, where the hell was my $200 for trying hard?
Really?
Yeah.
Where was my $200 for being on a 12th grade reading level in the 1st grade?
Yeah.
Hey, Skunk, I don't know if I've asked you. How old are you, buddy? If you don't mind me asking.
I am 35 years
young. Well, I'll be 37 this year, so I figure me and you is about the same age.
Yeah.
Skunk, I like your avatar, but it's missing one thing.
The sunglasses.
Well, that was the thing. That was
Bill.
It was
Bill,
already
did you just
missing
pull them out your ass or something?
Oh, okay. No, it's already missing a mouth because that was the style that I went with. It's based off of a video game, which is called Super Animal Royale, that I really like to play. And the characters in that game, none of them have mouths, right? There's already missing a mouth. I was like, if I want this thing to look really animated, you got to be able to see my eyes. So I thought about the sunglasses, and I was like, I want to be able to like blink and express, things.
Well, I think some things, the people that wear glasses or sunglasses and that when they animate it, like if they're angry, instead of your eyebrows furling down, the sunglasses furl down.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I didn't.
the glasses frames actually go angled. Yeah,
it's kind of an anime thing, you know.
Yeah, I didn't animate this. I did the artwork, right? I did all the artwork, but I didn't animate it. I had to actually pay somebody to animate this.
Oh wow!
And then since I had it and it was custom made and everything, well, my old roommate was just all like, "Oh, I want one," and I was like, "Yeah, I give you the information on the guy I got to animate mine." And my buddy was like, "Well, forget that. I ain't got that kind of scratch. I'll just do it myself." And I was like, "Okay, if you want to,
more power to you."
Right. And then a week later, not only do they have a fully functioning avatar, it's better than mine. And I'm like, I hate you so much. But it's, you know what? It's understandable, though. It's understandable. They were a Flash animator back in the day when Flash was a thing. Like, they used to do stuff on Newgrounds. So they're a lot better with this kind of animation. But I suck at it. So
it's something I've never tried, actually. I've thought about it and I go, ooh, that's a hell of a learning curve. I don't know if I got time for that.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. They figured it out instantly though. So I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know, I still have this. I still have the PSD files. It's like, yeah, I already spent money on this one and it works great for now, but maybe I'll say, hey, Audrey, I'll pay you twice what I paid the other person to do this if you reanimate mine and make it better. Because like when Audrey would if Audrey smiles, right? Like does an actual smile, like the whole thing lights up and the character like actually like puts on like a happy face. And if Audrey scowls, then it gets all angry eyes and it's like, wow, mine doesn't do that. Mine only has one expression and apparently it's really surprised. Like I kind of move the eyebrows up and down a little bit, but only if I like open and close the eyes, you know. And then if I close the eyes, like it just looks like I'm ripping a fat fart, which I guess is appropriate for a skunk, but you know.
I was gonna say something else, but
yeah,
they don't call them fart kittens for nothing. I just kind of look like I look like I'm constipated.
Concentrating really hard.
Yeah. Bill,
sometimes you have to. Them crossword puzzles take a while.
Bill, is that you? Are you using your new headset right now, or is that the one from last your old headset?
No, I went and got two different headsets today at Menards, not intending to. One was typically a gaming headset that I told the guys what I was going to use it for. And this is a corded 2-earpiece headset. And me and Josh went in, opened a Facebook Messenger room real quick, and it was a frickin' disaster. So I got out and I went on to YouTube, even tried to listen to a YouTube video, and could not hear a blessed thing. So I took an hour out to take that stupid thing back. Saw this other one that says you could put it on PCs and laptops, come back, and it doesn't work. It looks like the cord is bad on it. And so I'm back to my cordless headset that I had for a while. But
Bill, can I be honest about something? You're buying headsets at Menards.
Yeah.
For those who aren't from the Midwest, like me and Bill are, Menards has an equivalent here in our area. Big
Dollar
Lots.
General? Oh, Big Lots. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where this headset came from.
Bill, I know it might be a
Oh
bit of
wow,
a drive
you
for
jumped
you.
there.
Yeah, it does that if I laugh.
How'd you
really
make
hard.
that happen?
It happens when the camera can't see my face anymore because I fell a little bit past where the camera can see because I started laughing. So
okay.
it'll make it jump around real crazy like that. But no, do me a favor, right? Just go to Best Buy, please.
Okay. So,
I promise you, if you go to Best Buy, you can get a really good headset for a decent price. It will sound great, and you'll have great audio quality as well.
Okay, recommend something for me since you brought it up, please.
Oh, Logitech is a good brand if you want to go with a headset. You can get either communication only, or you can get the gamer ones. The gamer ones, you can get.
Don't do that.
Well, I was going to say with the gamer ones, you can get studio can style, like the headphones that I have. If you really want to go super pro with it, Bill, they actually do sell something really super cool at Best Buy. It's an actual USB microphone, and there's a bunch that you can get that they have, but my personal recommendation is the Yeti. That's the one that I have. I love it. I mean, when you see this thing, you'll understand what I mean. It is a studio microphone, but it's USB. Just plug it into your computer USB. It sets itself up, and it has a 1-to-1 ratio monitor. So you want that so you can control your voice level, because otherwise you have the headphones on, you can't hear what you sound like. With this mic, I can actually hear what I sound like. I can hear my own voice, which helps with controlling my volume, with diction and pronunciation and everything else. And you can just plug any set of headphones into it. It works just fine as long as it's regular 3.5 millimeter headphones. So you get that. You get a pair of headphones that you really like. If you want to go old school with the cans like I have, I got the DJ cans on right now that I bought at Guitar Center for $100. If you want to get something fancy like what Joe Dog has, if you want to get the $20 Sony specials, that will work. You just plug them into the microphone. The microphone itself costs. I know this is a big part. It's the price. The microphone itself is like $160. I know, right? But Bill,
you just killed him.
Do you hear how great I sound?
Yeah,
that's what $160 gets you.
Right. No, I understand. And what the first set I bought today, I thought I was upgrading quite well, and it turned out to be the worst. Now, the first ones that you mentioned started with a W. Can't remember what it was.
Oh, no. Logitech with an L.
Oh, Logitech. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they make all sorts of computer peripherals.
Yeah, they make keyboards and mice and trackballs and things like that too.
Yeah. Logitech, you can get a simple communication style headset, very similar to the one that Dan has. And you can get them for like I know they go upwards of because they start out super cheap, like $15. You don't want to get the $15 one, obviously, because you're going to have terrible sound quality. Good mid-range, just decent one costs you like $40-50. And then you can go even higher than that. I've seen Logitech headsets that are $300, but with the $300 ones, those are the ones that are the Bluetooth wireless gaming with the LEDs built into them, and have the simulated 5.1 Dolby Atmos, BS. Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say I've got. I think it's Logitech for my old Xbox.
Yeah. The ones that John was just showing off right there, the Corsair, Corsair Void RGBs. Those are the ones with the RGB lights in them, so you can change the colors of them to whatever you want. and they glow because they're gaming headset. And the simulated 7.1 surround sound, although that's not Dolby Atmos, if I remember correctly. Corsair's on the cheap end of gaming headsets, but if you want something that's going to fit nice, comfortable on your ears, have a really good microphone that you can control, and at a decent price, Corsair's not bad, but you can go cheaper and still get great quality just by knowing what brands to get. I would pretty much say gaming headset wise, there's features you don't want, right? The big one being RGB. Yep. You're not a gamer. You don't want stuff to glow. You do not want an RGB headset. You're basically going to end up with an RGB headset. You're going to end up paying an extra $50, $40 just for the RGBs. Which, by the way,
my dogs love it when I walk down to the kitchen at night to get a beer and the stairwell's glowing red and green and blue.
And the thing about that is, by the way, with those RGB headsets and all that money that they end up costing extra, right? You know, that's less than $2 in electronics, and all it does is just drain the battery if it's wireless.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say go with I would say go with a straight.
I just want something that plugs in and it's got good audio. I mean,
now the one thing I do like on the Corsairs, if you lift the boom mic up, it goes to mute.
And that
is a good feature.
That's not just on the Corsairs, by the way. A bunch of those gamer headsets have that, where if you turn the microphone up, it'll like not volume wise, but literally you move the microphone away from your mouth up out of position, you'll hear a little click. You can do this. You can even do this on the demo ones, because the click I'm talking about is mechanical. You'll turn it up, right? You'll move the microphone up into its position away from the mouth so that it's sticking straight up and down along with the rest of the headset. And when you do that, when you get to a certain point, you'll feel a little bit of pressure and then it'll go. That's muted. You can do that on all of them. Or not all of them, but most of them. Now, those Logitech ones I was talking about that are just communication style headsets, like what you've already got on right now, those I don't really know if they have that feature or not. I don't think they do. And those are the ones you're not going to be able to demo. Like the gamer headsets are the only ones you can really demo. And as far as what Willow was saying here, that's because audio encoding is going to be different from regular audio encoding. So if you record a show on StreamYard and then just rip the audio, you'll get a different audio quality. Excuse me. And changes the sound of your voice, yes, but it's not like it's not going to make your voice go into a higher or lower pitch or sound warbly or anything like that. It's just the clarity will change.
Well, I was about to say, all about the bandwidth.
And also, Yeti, by the way, I recommend the Yeti because, like I said, it's the one that I have. It's really good microphone for the price, you know, especially because it's USB. You don't have to get any additional equipment to go with it. It sounds great. It's easy to use. Has that one-to-one monitor. Those are all really great features for under $200. That's amazing.
Can you hold up right there for a second? Because Bill sent me his old mic that he was using. Bill, I think you used it for this show, didn't you?
No.
You never used it for this?
No, I think I only used it in the green room before.
Okay. Either way.
I don't even remember what kind it was.
I got an HP laptop, which I just basically use it. I let my wife use it for her live certifications, and I use it for taxes. Pretty much, it's not nothing special. But
we're losing you, Josh.
You got me?
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you and see you fine.
Okay.
Bill, you're frozen. Bill's
Yeah.
completely frozen. Okay, I think we lost Bill.
Yeah, Bill's Wi-Fi is not exactly top of the line.
Yeah,
And that's not his fault.
Look,
Hey, I
uh,
have not seen the Playboy for a while.
well, what I was gonna
Skunk,
say,
what I was going to tell you. Well, I had a question there.
Okay.
It's got a headphone output, right?
Yeah.
And the microphone he sent me is a USB. I've tried to try that on the USB side. Will not work. Well, it will work. People can hear me, but I can't hear nobody else.
Oh, yeah. There's a simple fix for that, depending on what software you're trying to communicate through, etc. And trust me, this has happened before with other things. When you plug that USB microphone in, it acts as its own sound card. So you have to go into your settings and whatever software you're using to communicate with, like Discord and stuff like that, and change it to that sound card.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's exactly how you do it. And the reason why that's so important to designate, right? The reason why that's so important to designate, if I go into, let's say I go into Discord, right? Right now, and switch my audio output to my TV instead of my microphone, right? In Discord, I could still use the microphone to hear you guys and play stuff off of the TV.
Right. I got you.
But you know what? You, Blake, just reminded me of something that I did not realize. My green screen's still on. I turned that off. There we go. That looks a lot better, and probably better on my CPU too.
I don't see any change, Skunk.
No, it's still on
the is it the like sun moon thing in the background?
It looks like a cityscape going by.
No, in the background behind the buildings.
I still see there's a large blue-green moon.
Yeah, that was black a second ago.
Okay.
I only realized it because I saw Blake change colors and I was like, oh wait, my green screen's still on. That would explain why it looks so dark. Oh, yeah, some of the buildings were acting funny too, I noticed.
Carl, man, you might have to get up there, buddy.
But anywho, let's see. It is 10:40. I am gonna go ahead and go early, and okay. I'll tell you guys why. When I got to work this morning at 6:30 in the morning, I was rip-raring ready to go. I was gonna have an awful day, and I just knew it. But I was gonna seize the day, as they say, right? Get stuff done. Get all of my pieces of my route together. Scan all the boxes and totes, get everything sorted. I'm literally about to load my van. It's 7:00. No, I think it was at this point. It was 7:00 or 7:30. I don't know. It was 7:15. I have no idea. It was somewhere near around 7:00, right? And Anthony, the assistant manager of the float, he walks over to me and he goes, "Want to go to Atlanta?" So this guy in Atlanta had taken the week off for vacation. They didn't schedule anybody to cover his route. So the first day, one of the Atlanta drivers covered it. The second day, Anthony covered it. The third day, my boss covered it. On the fourth day, Anthony was supposed to cover it again, but the vice president of the company was like, I don't like him. Send somebody else. So she asked me to do it. So I drove down there. I was, of course, super late because normally you're supposed to get down there you're supposed to get down there and get everything loaded up and be ready to leave by a certain time period. Of course, I'm, several hours late because I was already late getting there in the first place. If I could have instantly transported from 7:00, I would have been late, But instead, I had to drive, 2 hours through Atlanta traffic, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so long story short, I did such a good job that they asked me to come back to Atlanta tomorrow.
And do it again. You did such a great job. We're gonna make you do it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
You're
I
gonna
gotta
be in
get to
hot
bed.
Atlanta permanent.
I gotta get to bed so I can get to work early tomorrow because I have to go before everybody else, get to the warehouse, grab my van, sort out everything inside of the van real quick before I leave, drive down to Atlanta, get the van unloaded, get it loaded back up, and rush back up to Calhoun, Georgia, and be at a certain stop in Calhoun, Georgia at 8:30 in the morning.
Good luck.
Have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, you should have been asleep 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. But I wanted to stop in and say hi because.
Well, thanks for
Stupid
dropping
O'Clock.
in.
Yep.
Anyway,
We really appreciate every time you do come in.
Well, like I said, I'm going to bed now so I could get up in a few hours. I will holler at all of y'all later.
Appreciate the help.
No problem. Bye.
Yeah.
Let's go. Sleep tight.
Oh, so Blake, how have you been, sir? You've been sort of AWOL.
Been all right. Been busy.
How you doing, Blake? Josh? First time
pleasure.
I've been on. Nice to meet you, man.
Pleasure.
Yeah, Josh is from that town that has an elephant, and they call him Tide.
Yeah, called Title Town.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm
Georgia.
an Asheville
Georgia.
guy. So.
Sorry, Georgia and Tennessee. Well, I mean, Tennessee can't even get up. Get off the field. I mean,
Hey, Tennessee's
Hey,
like
they
that
get on
lawn.
the field just the one time.
Yeah. Hey, Tennessee's like that lawnmower. It's not going to cut the grass this year, but it's going to do great next year.
Who did y'all hire, by the way?
I don't sports ball.
I don't even know.
John, Dan, it's going to be hell for us come football season.
Hell for us.
I don't really care.
No, Georgia. Hey, Georgia's got a good team, so I ain't gonna say nothing.
The only game that I care about is University of Georgia, University of Tennessee, and I root for both sides because I got family in both states. It doesn't matter who wins. It's going to be a great game. It really is because it's that kind of rivalry. They're going to play their hearts out.
But Georgia's got a good team, so I'm not bad. I'm not gonna bash Georgia.
No, with their 23rd year seniors. So
Hey, they may be 60 years old, but they can still play. They might even graduate next year.
it's like George Thompson, a 9th year senior. It's like, does he have his master's or doctorate by now? You know,
He's still in remedial math.
2 doctorates.
I think Sean has drank too much wine tonight.
Anybody's thoughts?
He always types like that.
Anybody's thoughts on Oklahoma and Texas might be coming to the SEC?
Well, if they want to get in a good conference, they need to.
Well, I mean, that's the rumors. That's the rumors going around right now. So.
Come on up here to Big Ten.
We're just gonna leave the Big Ten in the dust, there, Bill.
how many teams are in the Big? Wait a minute, how many teams are in the Big Ten?
They actually got 10.
12.
12.
Yeah, they can't count. Just like the Big 12 can't count.
Well, there's 2 of
16.
them we don't count. One of them's Indiana, but
Hey, Josh, when it comes to sports ball, my cheer for Atlanta is go Braves and take the Falcons with you.
Amen.
Yeah, Liberty Media needs to get off their pocket.
Did you know that Atlanta has a hockey team?
Yes, they do.
It's
I don't know
not
what they're called.
Hockey in Georgia?
It's not a pro hockey team now, is it?
It's
Swimming? Yeah.
No, I know they used to have the Atlanta Thrashers back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Flames. Then
They had the Flames before that.
And then they had the Thrashers, and the Thrashers moved to North Carolina.
Yeah.
And now they got another one in there. Nobody.
I don't even know. I didn't even know they had one.
I didn't even know Atlanta had a skating rink.
Well,
Hey,
I was about to say Birmingham's got one too.
Now, if they want to move it a little further east, we got a roller skating rink they can try and train on.
I was going to say maybe skate park.
Well,
The only
I'll
thing
tell
Georgia
you.
knows about ice is sweet tea.
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, Huntsville has probably
Yeah.
one of the best amateur hockey teams or semi-pro hockey teams out there.
Hey, University of Alabama has UAH has got a great hockey team. Huntsville.
Oh yeah, guess who used to play on UAH?
Donna, Danville, Illinois gets ice.
The goalie used to
Oh.
play for the Rangers. Used to play for him.
Yeah. No, he had a quite famous father and mother. They would show up to games. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Oh wow, did not know that.
Of course, Nashville has a damn good hockey team.
Oh yeah,
they've contended for the Stanley Cup for the last 10 years.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Stanley keeps
maybe not that many years, but yeah,
probably five or six.
Yeah, 5 or 6, but yeah.
My team usually visits during the first and waves and goes back home. I'm a Calgary Flames fan. But the funny thing is I live in Nashville, so that's even more funny. But I had to choose a team before Nashville came in '98, so.
Well, I'm a Predators fan, but second would be the Rangers.
Oh, did you hear where the Predators is going to be playing one of their games next year?
Let me guess. England.
Nissan Stadium.
That should be fun. I'm actually going there this weekend for the football.
Bless you.
Yeah.
90
Joe,
minutes.
I gotta ask you. I can't really see all of your shirt. Does that say Chevy sucks?
Close.
Oh,
Chevy
trucks.
trucks.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I got that wrong as far as you know.
Hey, I will tell you right now, 90% of the Fords sold in the last few years are still on the road. 10% of them made it home.
Yeah. Hey, as many of the transmissions I rebuild out of the Chevys.
Oh, is that what you do? Is transmission work?
Yeah, I do it on the side.
Yeah, I have to come and see you in about 5 or 10 miles.
What kind of what you got?
I got a 2012 Impala.
Ooh. Josh, you may have to come pick him up in 5 or 10 miles.
I know you have to tow me.
That's going to cost you 2 chickens.
Yeah.
Oh, no Saturday Night Live fans from back in the old days.
2 chickens. No, that's 3 chickens, right?
It might be 4. That front wheel drive. Give me a 4L60 and I could have it done in a day.
There you go.
4L60, $700 whatever happened to the damn good old turbo 350s and 400s?
You can't find them. They're in race cars.
They're bulletproof.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. I mean, you can tear them down in 20 minutes and rebuild them.
I had a guy, transmission shop one time. He said, drop your car off with me and let me. He told me, I'm going to put a shift kit in here. You need a shift kit.
Shift
kit? 72 Chevelle.
Shift kit, 6-pack. That's all you knew.
Yeah. Well, what he did is, I went and bought the, trying to be the helpful guy. I went and bought, the B&N shift kit. I get the car back and the shift kit's still laying in the seat. And I said, why didn't you put it in? He goes, I don't put shift kits in cars. I said, what do you mean? He goes, when I get done with it, you don't need a shift kit. He knew how to drill the valve body. Oh my God. That you could not take off without it barking into second. And if you stood on it, it lit them up going into third.
Oh yeah, he adding that extra air in there, or it's sucking more fluid.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and my neighbor, if one's got to be pulled, he'll pull it. I'll tear it down, and normally he'll drop it and clean it, put it, clean all the, clean the valve body if we ain't got to put the valve body in, and I'll rebuild it. And he always puts the shift kit back in it. I think parts wise, 200, and I think it's 220. That's new clutches, everything.
Now, do they make a shift kit for an HHR?
Ooh, I'd just have to look that up.
It's basically the Cobalt.
Yeah.
What I wish is some kind of a locking mechanism to get my automatic transmission to stay in low gear without me having to hold the shifter over for my Kia van. Because you start coming down the Smoky Mountains, you holding the gear shift in one hand and trying to steer with the other hand, you looking at disaster right in the face.
I'm sure there's something you could do with that.
It don't lock. You've got to hold it.
Bungee cords.
That or change the rear end and make it a locking.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't. I love this van. I love this van. It's a
limited slip or something.
It's 280 horsepower, and it gets about 40 miles to the gallon. As long as I don't stomp it.
Hell, that gets better miles to the gallon than my freaking wife's Corolla.
Hey, it was a good year for them. I don't think that the newer ones are quite that advantageous. But I have got before the recent unpleasantness, I needed to go get brakes, and I was not able to do that because being laid off from work for several weeks and whatnot, and trying to keep the lights on and everything. So now I'm just about to get totally out from under my credit cards, and I'm feeling like, okay, I need to go get brakes done. It's been 2 extra years. I'm gonna have to buy rotors and everything. It's not going to be just put pads on it and let it go. They're going to want to do a real good job, and the place where I go does a real good job. And they don't charge an arm and a leg for the labor, but if the parts are prime, you pay prime price for the parts.
That's why I've got a set of rotors out in my back building that came off my HHR. When I do a brake job, I buy, when I first do the first brake job on it, I buy a new set of rotors, whether it needs them or not. The old rotors I take and have them turned, and then soak them down with wipe them down with Vaseline, and they go back into the new rotors boxes and lay flat and just sit there for 3 or 4.
However long you need.
And then when comes time to do a new brake job, I go over to my dad's house, pull the wheels off, pull the calipers, pull the pads, head to AutoZone, throw the pads on the table and say, hey, I need new pads. And they hand me a new box and I walk out the door. Maybe I'll grab a can of brake cleaner to get the Vaseline off the other rotors. Whoop, back down the road.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, instead of the Vaseline, start throwing that red grease on there.
Red grease?
Yeah. You wouldn't have to clean it as much. So.
Back when I was doing my own brakes on whatever I had, I was having problems getting the calipers to separate. So I invented a tool. I took a pair of channel lock pliers, put them together backwards, so when I squeezed the handle, they would push rather than squeeze. And that worked wonders. Of course, I did have to go and spend a little extra time getting the air bubbles out of the brake lines. But it turned out to be worth it because I was saving all that labor charge for having the work done by somebody else.
Should I tell him the trick or you want to tell him, Josh?
On the calipers?
Yeah. How to compress the caliper?
C-clamp.
C-clamp and the old pad.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, only it's a pair of channel lock pliers turned backwards.
I mean, you C-clamp, piece of wood. I mean,
yeah.
I use a C-clamp. I rob it off my table saw.
Yeah,
but
Daddy used to use a couple of like 11-inch, 12-inch long pry bars and a 2x4.
Yep. I was gonna say, like,
oh crap! Guess what, guys?
It's time.
Oh wow!
Shoot me a link.
Shoot you a link. Dan, shoot Josh a link. Is that what you were going to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. We got to get ready to wrap this up.
I don't know if I've got you here on the thingamabob.
Shoot in private on this.
Oh, okay. I can do that too.
Yeah. And then he could just click it as we sign off. But
the problem with that is I've got to get out of here before I can get the other link.
Okay, well, give me just a second. All right. Copy. Boom. Done.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Josh.
Yeah, that way Bill and Josh can click it over. John already knows the trick to jump. But thanks everybody. We have effectively killed 2 hours.
And they didn't even feel it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel nothing.
But thanks everybody. We will see y'all to Saturday night, 11 o'clock. And maybe some special pop-up shows will be coming up real soon on the Armchair Rocket Science. And Armchair Rocket Science may be expanding to YouTube in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. So with that, we're going to say good night, everybody.
Night,
everybody. Good night.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.